I'm so excited to welcome Keith Urban to Pure Country. Congratulations on the new album.
Thank you.
How do you feel? We've talked about this for quite a while now. How do you feel now that it's finally out in the world?
Relieved.
I bet.
And excited and grateful.
For sure. I went back and watched our interview from when The Speed of Now Part 1 came out. And you said that you've approached every album the same way, but they've never turned out the same. So when you started this one, after having kind of put 615 away in 2023, did you approach this one the same, or did you?
I approached it the same as all the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, 615 is any time I approach things differently.
Okay.
It didn't pan out.
Okay.
But, just got to try things.
And what kind of made it feel like, was there a moment when you went, okay, I'm on the right track with this. This is the way I want to go?
The first song we wrote was called Chuck Taylor's, and I literally felt, and then the second day we wrote Straight Lines. So just within that 48-hour period, I felt like, these were the missing pieces already. And then more songs came after that.
One of the key pieces, like when I listen to this, it's one of the most visually creative album I think I've ever listened to from start to finish. Just the imagery and the lyrics. Like when you're listening to it, you can feel that you're in that moment.
Thank you.
Was that something you intentionally tried to place in songs when you were writing, or the visual aspect to it?
Yeah, if we, certain songs, I mean, they're also different.
Yeah.
But I like songs that conjure up an image. I like songs to not have to have a video. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and these ones don't, because you can picture it in your head as you're like driving down the road.
Yeah.
So when the album's done and you know it's done, how do you listen to it for the very first time? Do you go by yourself and start to finish, go through it all?
Yeah, it's because the sequencing is a bit like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
For me.
I bet.
Yeah, because it's also it's so important, I find, because a song like, say, Dodge in a Silverado, for example, I really love that song, but it just never felt right I kept putting it
in different places
on the record, and I'm like, I just don't think I'm going to put this song on the album. And then I placed it at third to last, and it was, it was wherever it was. I think it's second last. I can't think off the top of my head. But I placed it after Laughing Away to the Drink, because I thought, well, it's just a song that's kind of like, it's an exhale a song. And it felt like nowhere on the record needed an exhale except after Laughing Away to the Drink.
Yeah.
And I've got one last shot for the song to live. And for me, it was just the energy flow felt so right that the song just felt right there. So sequencing to me is really, really important.
Yeah, we've talked about that in the past. And Dodge in Silverado is one of my favorites. So I'm really glad you decided to put that on the record.
Thank you.
One of the songs, I wore my Chuck Taylors for you today, but
Thank you. I noticed that.
I Can't Drive.
They're really cute.
Thank
too.
you.
Are they
cherry touch to it, yeah.
Dang.
I was like, gotta pull those out for Keith. But now when I drive by any power lines, I'm just constantly not looking at the road. I'm like, is there any Chuck Taylors? Have you ever actually thrown Chuck Taylors?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. See, I've never done that.
They do it in Australia too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they actually stick and land on the power line?
I couldn't
They're
get them.
still
No,
hanging?
it's a bit harder than it looks.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. I needed longer laces, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I always wondered how they ended up actually making it up there. But what a cool song. And like you talked about earlier, just how that visualization of those shoes and how you attach that to a relationship. I feel like there's a lot of songs on this record that kind of do that in different ways. What was that day like writing Chuck Taylors? Because it had to be strange hearing Chase McGill go, Chuck Taylors on a power line.
Yeah. Oh, it's just one of those, I love those kind of fresh lyrics.
Yeah.
That's a great example of a story that I wouldn't have come up with in that colorful way.
Right.
The way he painted that picture was just so immediate and real. It didn't feel like it was smart songwriting that you go, oh, this is clever if you add this word and put that one. It just felt real. It felt like seeing a picture and describing the picture. It was beautiful.
Another really real song on that is Break the Chain. And it is so cool how you ended the record with that. I feel like the record takes you through so many different parts and aspects of your life. And then, either you're in it right now or someone's gone through it in the past, but then you end with Break the Chain and you're kind of like, okay, do with it what you will and change things about yourself or don't. Like, it's very thought-provoking. What was it? Did you know when you wrote that song that was going to be the last song in the record?
Yeah.
The day you wrote it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there was nothing I would want to say after that song. And if something up tempo had happened after it would weaken a little bit of the power of the song, and anything sort of heavy after it would be too many things. So I just went, it's just got to end with this.
Perfect way to end. What point in your life did you, because I think everyone hits that point, or hopefully does at some point in their life, where they go, what am I going to take with me? What am I going to leave behind? Was there a pinpointed moment where you realized that you could do that? Like, what point in your life was that when you kind of thought, okay, I'm going to make some changes?
I think it's just been gradual.
Gradual, yeah.
Many, many years. And it's easier said than done.
It is.
It's,
yeah,
old habits come back.
For sure.
Old ways of doing things return if I don't stay vigilant.
My husband and I, when we had our son, we literally had that conversation of like, what from our families do we love, and what do we want to bring with us? What do we want to kind of leave behind? Yeah,
and I think there's always assets and liabilities.
Yeah.
It's not all bad, it's not all good. It's a bit of a combination, and I think we also have the right to change our attitudes about those things.
Yeah.
As we continue, especially if we get to be parents.
Oh, yeah.
I know I've had a lot more appreciation for my parents.
Same.
Having become one.
Absolutely.
Starting with, they didn't have a clue what they were doing.
Yeah.
Got it.
None of us do.
Because you go, mom and dad must know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They hand out punishment or like guidance or something. You're like, well, they know what they're doing. They don't have a clue.
No.
They're just winging it.
Yeah.
Because their parents didn't have a clue, and it keeps going and going.
Yeah.
There's something wonderful about that.
It's a fun journey for sure. Special, obviously, to have your one collab being Miss Lainey Wilson, who is just a superstar. And the combination of the two of you, I remember when you guys started teasing something was coming, I was like, what is this going to be? And it's such a perfect, fun song for the two of you. Did you actually get to record it in studio together?
We didn't, because she was touring at the time.
Okay.
It's always
You're both very busy.
Yeah. So we didn't even get to do the video together because she was touring.
Okay.
And so we performed the song on the CMA Fest.
Yes.
And I had an extra couple of cameras capturing that with this idea of how we could incorporate it into the video.
Yeah. But I saw you guys did I think it was before she was going over to Australia. You guys did this video driving around in your truck. You dropped her off.
Airport.
Yeah, you dropped her off at the airport. Did you actually? Okay, I was like, was that real?
Yeah, no, that's
so
literally
funny.
the day she was leaving to go to Australia.
What was that like, getting to just drive around with her? I feel like she
Great.
probably had to have a moment where she was like, Keith Urban is driving me to the airport.
Yeah, because she's so, as I say to everybody, whatever you think, if you wonder what she's really like, is she really like that? Yeah. She's really like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other Lainey.
No, she's as real as real can be.
Yeah.
You are someone that crossover country is not anything new to you. You've had so many great collaborations, like Pink and Julia Michaels. Like, you've worked with so many cool people. Is there a possibility of a Sabrina Carpenter, Keith Urban collab? I just feel like we have to manifest it and just see.
Yeah. What a great song.
Oh my gosh.
What a great song.
Was that the first time you'd ever played it on a banjo? I thought so. I was like,
played it in my head and I imagined how it would work, but
yeah,
it doesn't always, it often does pan out.
It panned out.
Like, you can play it in your head and go, I think that's going to work pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but like I said to Jimmy, when the bones of a song are good, you could make it reggae, you could make it waltz. You can do a million things with a song if the bones are good.
Yeah. It's so good. I feel like you and her would sound really good together.
Cool.
Just saying.
I'm ready.
Put it out in the world. With this record, High, I know you've played some of these songs out on the road before releasing it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, even as long as you've been doing this, as many records and songs that you've had out, everyone knows the words to your songs. Is it nerve-wracking going out there and playing a brand new song that you've never played before and testing the waters?
Certain ones more than others.
Yeah.
I know the first time we did Chuck Taylor's was actually on Jimmy Fallon. Never played it live. Like, let's do it on television in front of millions of people for the first time. What could possibly go wrong? There's a certain muscle memory that hasn't developed yet.
Yeah.
Playing, singing, and like all this sort of thing. And certain songs are easy and others aren't.
That was
what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, there's a little complexity to that one. Yeah.
Was there one that you played when you were out on touring and stuff this year that you played for the first time that you were maybe pleasantly surprised by watching the crowd interact with it the first time?
I literally mean this, every single one of them.
Really?
Yeah, because Messed Up As Me was the first one we added into the set. And then Straight Line pretty much straight away. Straight Line we sort of thought would be a good opener.
Okay.
Now, even though we're playing festivals where X amount of those people aren't fans. They don't know my music. We just started opening every show a straight line, and it worked right out of the gate. And then Messed Up As Me worked, and then we put in Wild Side when it came out. The very first night we did it, I could just see people moving like this. It was like
this is
I haven't had this with, maybe since Ripcord, I haven't had that sort of immediate response on songs. Yeah.
It's so good. This album, I've listened to it from start to finish. I know you said sometimes you don't listen to an album that way, but I have, and it is probably one of my favorite Keith Urban records.
Oh, thank you.
It is so good.
Thank you.
I know you don't name them after songs, but is there one that you're maybe leaning towards a little more? That you love maybe a little more?
On the record?
Yeah. Are you allowed to say that? Because they're like your children.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love every one of them for different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't one where I kind of, if I'm not passionate about it, if I wasn't passionate about a song, it'd be a 10-song album instead of an 11-song album.
Right.
That's the truth of it.
Okay.
It was a 13-song album, but I found 11 that I passionately love.
Well, they're good ones.
Thank
for
you.
sure. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
My pleasure.
Keith Urban on Pure Country.